Morning, morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Get live right here. Also set up my phone. All right, 100% on the.
What's going on, folks? Happy holidays. Tune in IG Live. Welcome, world. YouTube family.
There we go. Top of the morning. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Spotify world, iTunes, podcasts, wherever you're listening around the world. Good morning.
Yeah, listen, let's get the topics in there. Perfecto.
Yeah, pinned.
Good, there we go. All right, let me get this going on as well, too. Get this request. All right, everybody, do me a favor. Send this out to everybody that's in your immediate circle. Wants to join.
We're live on YouTube.
I'm gonna get my live involved as well too. Top of the morning. Mute this so that we make sure we have no. There we go. No feedback. All right, there we go.
I know my brother had a busy weekend. You're all over Canada.
And it was the worst time to be traveling, literally.
Why? What happened? Tell us.
The storm.
We're getting kicked back.
Make sure that I get this off all the way. Okay, I like that. Everybody joining in right now. Yeah, we had the storm, and I got to literally when I left Toronto, I realized that I thought it was gonna affect where I was going. So I was kind of happy. I saw everyone complaining, and then bada bing, bada boom, it came and hit us up where I was in Ottawa. I forgot. Usually we have wavies at the airport, so it doesn't affect this. But hey, everyone, do me a favor. Send this out to 2, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. What's good, Jay? I'm gonna have to call you too. Caravana's coming up. My New York family's in here. We know everybody's either at home, chilling, getting a break. So everybody that's coming in from MC Ebone, head to Motivation Mondays live straight. I'm gonna come out of this one real quick because we're getting a little feedback. I don't really like the feedback, so. I think that'll do everybody. We have new people coming in right now. So do me a favor, send this out to 5 people. Brother, sister, uncle, auntie, cousin, doesn't matter. Anybody that you share memes with. I see more people join us. Spread the word. I don't have another AirPod, so I don't want the feedback that's coming in, but it's yours truly, MC Ebone.
Magnus speaker as always.
Today's Motivation Mondays holiday special. We know Victoria Day long weekend. I believe next weekend's Memorial Day long weekend for our States people. And then after that, June, come July, Canada Day, and then the 4th of July. But let me get my brother Max in here. All right, we'll click that mute button. Okay, now that we got everybody in here, I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. It was a long weekend. A lot of stuff were happening in the city. How was your weekend, brother?
It was eventful. Going to parties here and there. Baby shower. My brother of mine had a christening. So being around family, you know.
Okay, nothing better than being around family, especially during the long weekend when you haven't seen everybody for a while. And you know, everybody's growing up right now. We're not as accessible as we used to be, so it's kind of good to see people that you either grew up with or have some kind of ties with it, being, like you said, a christening. I think those things are very beautiful. Yes, more people joining in. Make sure you send this out. Click that arrow button. The first 6, 7 people names you see, send it out. I don't even care, even if you don't talk to them, if you had shared their page, just send it out to everybody in the meantime, between time.
I want to shout out some few high school buddies of mine that are coming through. I see you. Bring back some good old days, some football days. You know, once in a while it's good.
Are these Bosco
yes,
alumni?
Yes, Bosco alumni. I see you.
But yeah, man, the city got hit with a crazy storm over the weekend. But this is going to be a good conversation because I think storms come into our lives in different aspects, in different ways. And sometimes you can't prepare for them. I don't know about how Toronto was, but in Ottawa, a lot of the trees, like the roots, were lifted. So like it was kind of crazy to see. Like I saw 2 trees hit a fire station, an ambulance, some houses. I saw you post. Your post is actually funny. The landlord post, where a lot of fences were
I got to
impacted.
deal with that today. Yeah, a lot of homes, a lot of people are dealing with the aftermath. You know, for something that happens such a brief moment of time, it costs a lot of damage. You know.
And I want to say condolences to the I think it was like 3 or 4 people that lost their lives that were hit by trees. Unfortunate circumstances, but you know, our condolences going out to those families. Maybe you might know somebody or heard about it. It's very sad to hear about tragedy like that when nobody expected the storm to be like that impactful.
No, I thought it was just going to be like a hard rain, and you know, you just never know what it is that's you're heading towards, you know.
And
if you're affected by it, you know, our condolences to you and your family.
I was doing a wedding, and the wedding wasn't able to actually happen, like the reception part, because we had no power. So it was pretty sad. But the one thing that I realized that like the wife was so happy and just so humble. She kept smiling through it. I was kind of nervous, but we made the most happen. And sometimes I'm gonna bring it to life right now. Sometimes in life things are gonna happen that's unexpected, but I realized something. Like me and my boy were driving to the hotel, and he's like, yo, it's gonna make him think about even parking near trees, parking near places where, like, if something like this is to happen, your car would be damaged. And it's not even so about, because you know, insurance, you'll be able to get taken care of, but sometimes it can affect your day. Like something happening like that could just throw your whole day off. And nobody prepares for things like that. It's not like you're gonna say, oh, I gotta be somewhere at 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna get prepared by 9 o'clock to leave just in case anything big or a tragedy happens. But they always talk about preparing for things so that when things do happen, you're already prepared for it.
Yeah, like we talk about those who fail to plan or planning to fail. These are things that we don't take into account, you know, and not being a long weekend. There's people that may not be able to get to where they need to get to. We know shops were closed and they're not open on weekends, and we have extended long weekend. Not only that, some of these natural disasters are actually not covered by insurance. So this is a surprising to a lot of people. So we deal with all these different dynamics that affects our everyday lives, and it could actually make a long day a very long day, right? And then that's like you're optimistic about having plans for the day, things that you need to do, and then you deal with that early in the morning. It could take you out. It could knock you off your feet.
So I want to talk about 2 things. Living life to just live, or planning your actual life to go the way you want it to go. And the reason why I say that is, like, there's not even certain people, there's individuals in life that, you know, I always believe that we have a talent hidden in us, everybody. And it's going to be hard for others to discover that talent due to the simple things of life. Bills, trying to find a better job, necessities like making sure they live in a home, or whether you're renting or you're looking to buy. What is the difference between living to just live life and actually taking control of your life to make it go in the way you want it to be? And then we'll talk about the breakdowns of how you'll be able to do those things.
The big difference is, you know, looking something to look forward to, have something meaningful, and you find the meaning in the hard things that you do in life. Like, you know, so it's just one of those things where if your life is easy, you know, there's this debate. It's like, how will your life be like if you just live on a resort, if you're just drinking pina colada? For a short period of time, that sounds like a great idea, but how long before you're bored with yourself? And it's just kind of like one of those things where it's kind of like, have a meaningful life, work towards something. You know, the challenges of life is what makes life worth living. The reason why we want to escape and run to a resort because we're tired from work, right? But after we've been there for too long, anybody that ever did, most people, it's about 5-7 days to get their breaking point. Like, I want to get back home. Like, there's a sense of urgency in humanity to want to do something, right? They said, there's a quote I got to pull up, but Essence, it just talks about if you gave humans all this that they have, all of this that they want, they'll break it all up and try to find a way to put it back together. You know, it's just the need to do something. You know, if everything's like, it's like a child being bored. Everything is given to them, but they'll still express to you that they're bored.
Now, with 2 things, right? Sometimes in joy comes sadness. Like sometimes you can get the joy or the idea that you had kind of sucked out of you, literally, where it's like life is really. I've been seeing these quotes where I was talking about life is life, and like things are really taking over, and you realize that as you get older, especially us as 90 babies, life is real. Life is now like you're looking back like, damn, you want to rush to be an adult, and now you're here in adulthood and like, oh my goodness, take me back. But we know that you can't dwell into the past, and you know, thinking about things, the past can take you out of the moment and take you away from actually enjoying what you need to be doing, which is living in the moment and doing what's best. Snoopy, we saying, brother, live in Ghana, I see you doing your thing as well too. You know, like I can bring it up. You know, Snoopy's out there in Ghana, living his life, networking, doing what he needs to do as a influencer, as a DJ, and representing Canada. But you know, over the years of him doing his thing, that's why he's able to go out there and get to play in places where some people probably wouldn't even know how to even have a conversation to get them into it. But over time, when you're doing something over and over, you get used to how the world accumulates certain things into our talents. But when life gets hard and you go through situations that kind of make you break or make you look at life a certain way, what are some of the things that you should do to step back and look to get you back to where you probably were and that you aren't no more?
Well, the first thing you can see is step back, reflect, right? See how things are, you know, have a different point of view. Really analyze how it is you got where it is that you got to, good or bad. And you know, and the thing, I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago, but so important, like the humility, like be humble, right? There's a sense of urgency where you know, you hear people talk about, I fell off, right? And the sense to get back, so they want to rush the process, right? And it's not about rushing the process, it's about trust the process, right? So do the things that you know you have to do. If it means going back to square one, right? If you're not worried about what other people think about you, right? If you're not worried about what other people think about you, how you perceive to other people, or you used to be this and now you no longer have this. I think we had that episode with buddy of yours, Alpha Junior a while back, and he just talked about not being in that position that he used to be no more. But have the humility to understand that you might have to go back to ground zero, square one, and you have an advantage because you've been there before. But it might require you to humble yourself enough and say, this is where I am and this is where I need to be to get back to where I was, right? And if it's a little as, like I just said, to get back to where it is, just get into your daily habits, your daily routines. Maybe there's a few things along the way that you forgot about. If it was you eating breakfast and taking care of yourself, a lot of people don't know some of the moves that they deal with is because the lack of energy they have, which comes from the food that they put in their system, right? So people think it's a lot of people stressing them, but it's their body breaking down to align with certain things that are not working out. So you just got to step back, analyze situation, and get back to who it is that you were, because you got there before. Believe in yourself, you could do it again. So of course, step back. Of course, do the little things. If it's working out, showering, the little things. I know people just want to jumpstart, get back to where it is, but don't lose, trust the process, you know, but don't rush the process.
Of our abilities. I went to the gym and one of my trainers was talking about this quote. It's actually in my notes, so I won't be able to pull it up, but it was yes, let me so it's the 40% rule, first coined by David Goggins. It's a term used to explain that when your mind and body are starting to tire and you feel like giving up, you're only at 40% of what you are truly capable of achieving. So sometimes I see the smile.
I see on the front, because from David Goggins, that guy's insane. Like, you know what I mean? He's a guy that's he's running off a different energy. Like, there's not too many people that you will see in that kind of mentality. So him saying you only have 40% of your capability, and I believe it. Like, you're not all that you can be. You're full of potential. There's much more that you could do in the position that you're in right now, right? So of course, when you're tired, there's a bit more in you to give. You know, human beings, like, this is like genetic. This is like proven by science. It's not just motivational speakers just talking. Whereas that there's genes in us until we're put in a certain situation before it gets turned on, right? And once it gets turned on, it's like a new environment. It's kind of like that fight or flight. You know, you see people that talk about, in the midst of, you hear these stories, people coming out, they face a bear and they don't know how they're able to fight off a bear, but it's just things in us until we're seeing in new environments that turns on within us.
And I you know, it's funny, I was in the gym last week and like I was at our last set and I was even shocked at myself because I don't know. There's something about me when the cameras are on. I like to do my best. So like I actually like it because it'll force me to go harder. But I thought I was gonna give up, and I didn't even know what came out of me. And I was able to complete the task. But at that moment, I realized, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's really a mindset. Like, it's mind over matter. Like, you might be telling yourself you can't do it, but in all reality, you can. You just got to go through the motion and do it. And after you do it, you'll realize, like, oh my goodness, I was able to accomplish this. But you got to actually go through it to know that you can do it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. You beyond your wildest imagination, what you're capable of doing. Like, you know, and it's like, even if that's all you could do right now, there's much more in you, right? Think about it. Think about how it was for you last year. Think about the last stressor that you were dealing with and you thought it will break you and you didn't have the tools or the things, you know what I mean? And don't run away from your problems because the monster that you run away from doesn't go away. It gets stronger and eventually you will face it. And you don't want to get weaker. You want to get stronger, right? And even if you're defeated, with whatever it is that you're facing, you learn new skills to deal with the other challenge. Because life doesn't get easier if you keep walking away from all your problems. It will get harder.
And how should we reflect and look back at times where we came out of situations? Because sometimes you forget. Sometimes you forget that maybe a year ago, 2 years, you're going through something that, like you're just talking about, that you thought you probably couldn't get out of. You thought it was going to break you. And here you are years later that you probably even forgot about that. Why is it important to kind of, it's like game film. You know, after a game, they go to look back to see some of the things they did that were good and some of the things that they did were bad so that they can learn from their mistakes. But it's easier when you're getting paid money to be able to go through film. In this life, we're not paying ourselves to go through back. It's not our professional, it's not our job. So it's easier for an athlete to be like, yeah, let me go watch film because I'm getting this is what I get paid to do.
So there's a reward for that, and that reward comes from their investment they have done in themselves. And after that, I've been talking about sacrifice. You know, we always talk about sacrifice this to get here. And I heard something over the weekend, and they gave me a different perspective. No matter what you don't understand, there's going to be a new point of view towards something, right? So what I was told, what I read is never look at your perspective of sacrificing something, but rather look at it as an investment in yourself. It's not so much that you're giving up something, but you're investing something in yourself for a better future, right? And people may not feel like this is something that they want to do because they have unstable future. But of course, if you didn't know where the future looks like a year from now, 2 years from now, there's things that you don't want to give up because you feel like it's not worth it. But stop looking at sacrifice as this painful, dreadful thing you do not want to do and you're not guaranteed some type of reward. And start seeing is an investment for my future. So you're not sacrificing for your future because sacrifice sounds painful, right? So let's call it an investment for my future.
And there's certain steps I believe that you're gonna have to take. It's not gonna wait. You're not gonna wake up one day and then boom. You know, they say it takes 18 to almost. It can take from 18 days to almost 180 days
to build a habit.
And the people who get it in 18 days, they have a different type of strong power, like that will, that they get it. And then the people that it'll take longer, you might want it, but you're not disciplined enough.
And the key word is discipline, but be deliberate. It's not just being about discipline, right? Be deliberate. You know, it's like, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to, once again, I'm trying to learn to switch up the words. Are you willing to sacrifice or bracket? Are you willing to invest your current status now for the future status that you want for yourself? You know, Eric Thomas said, you got to want as bad as you're willing to breathe. How bad do you want it? You know, so when we talk about discipline, it's about deliberate action, focusing on everything that you say you're going to do and actually go through the motion and do it.
And you owe yourself that. We didn't just come out. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody like, yo, I didn't just come on. They were so happy that it was long weekend and they didn't have work tomorrow. They're like, I didn't just come on this earth to not enjoy myself because I saw the person look good. I'm like, oh, you look good, you're enjoying. She's like, I didn't come to this world to just work and pay bills. But what's so funny, she's like, it's so crazy. Tomorrow's just really my only day off and I'm back to work nonstop, 2 jobs. And sometimes it be like that. You got to put food on the table. You got to make sure the light is on. You got somewhere to stay with your family. But like I said earlier, I believe that we have something in us that can surpass our ability of what we think we're capable of doing.
Yeah, we're full of potential. Like I said it again, there's things in you that you need to go through things for it to turn on. right? You have never reached your full potential. You're not your best yet, right? You're not your best yet. I never want to hear people say my best days are behind me. No, you can create better days, right? Your best days is up to now, right? If you think about the best day of your life that was up to now, there's another one better, there's another one bigger. And if it was at the hands of somebody else, if it was somebody making that day be so special to you, now I'm asking you to create a special day for yourself.
And like I said earlier, we only owe ourselves to give ourselves the best. If you got kids or you plan on having kids, what we're doing right now and the things that the seeds that you plant right now, somebody's gonna bear the fruit of that. Whether it's yourself, your spouse, your family, whatever you're building for. Like you talked about, your why, the reason why you're doing what you do.
Right, you got to be impactful, because if it's all about you, eventually you're going to face something that's bigger than you, and then you will give up on yourself. If we left things up to us, we don't hold ourselves to a higher standard. Somebody said, Dr. Peterson, psychologist, says, we are our own boss and our own employee. We don't want to do what we're told, and we hate being told what we have to do. So it's kind of like, you're the boss you don't want to work for, and you're a terrible employee to add it. So you say something to yourself that you know you need to do, you're not going to do it. And then you fuss about the overhead and why you failed and why you're not getting things done, right? So you got to put stuff in your own hands. You got to have things bigger and greater than you. If it's a family, if it's a child, if it's friends, if it's just to impact the world in a positive manner, right? Be impactful. Make something bigger than you to pull you through the hardship. You are going to go through hardship. You are going to go through hardship. Like we just talked about the weekend devastating people. If it's really about you, you take a day off. You take the whole weekend off. It's just you. But when you know you have a meaningful purpose, when you know I got to get to work because my little boy and my little daughter needs daddy, mommy to come through, then you know that it's not just about you just laying up and giving it all up, right? You got to go through the hardship. You got to go through the obstacles. Something on the other side got to pull you.
And I love what we had a comment right here. Let me just read it real quick. Exquisite
cut. Working is necessary given the economy dysfunction we live in, but we need to avoid trading our time for money and work for our true passion. Keyword passion, right? Work for a purpose, work with your passion, something that you love to do, right? And it's not, like I just say, if you want to play the money game, there's other aspects, there's other avenues that we could get into. There's so many things that you could actually find the love. So what I encourage people to do is on an everyday basis, you want to go to work, you want to get up every morning to do something that you love. And through that, the little that they may give you or might give you a lot. Shout out to the people in the tech world. They're the one that love in the tech business and getting all the big bucks. But let's just say if you're in the people business, we all know the people business don't pay as much. You could actually take what it is that you get from the people world and go invest it into things, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a real estate agent. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a tech guru. All that means is love what you do on an everyday basis, the little that they give you because you love your job and you don't care if you got paid much for it. Take that little, invest yourself. It's no longer sacrifice, right? I'm not saying sacrifice your money. Now we're going to say invest your money to a better future. So invest it into the things that you know that help you grow. Invest it in real estate. We see real estate in the GTA double, right? So many people got in and it's not too late. And that's what I just encourage everybody to do.
And shout out my guy DJ Daffy, New York City. I see a lot of people chiming in right now. This is Motivation Monday, episode 33. It's a holiday space special. We're just talking about, I know a lot of people are at home, chilling. We're just trying to give you the information. This platform is based on educating on self, purpose, passion, and finances. So we're having a conversation that is necessary. We know motivation is necessary for people, but there's different aspects that come with just motivation itself. Discipline, hard work, consistency. You can want it so bad, but are you doing the necessary things to achieve the things you say you're gonna do?
External motivation could go so far. You know, people feel pumped right now and talking positive. You hear me and my brother, you're sharing information. External motivation could go so far. What happens when the show comes off, right? And you still got to deal with life, right? The best motivation that you could have is internal, right? Internal motivation. That's the best predictor of success, right? Other than other things, intelligence, high conscientiousness, but the best predictor for you to get where it is that you need to be is internal motivation. Because Me and my brother are not on 24/7, right? At the end of this episode, if you're not motivated, if you don't have the sense of urgency to do the things that you know that you need to do, it falls on deaf ears, right? So you got to get up, you got to have it within yourself, right? So it's bigger than motivation.
And right now we are live on YouTube, so we encourage everybody to check out our YouTube page, Motivation Mondays Live. You can go subscribe, turn on post notifications. As soon as you get in there, click the like button. We have a chat feed, so you can, ask questions.
I'm encouraging everybody to ask questions because that's something that we often forget. And to the people that's going on YouTube, if you're already subscribed, you're already automatically in our giveaway. Right,
oh, yeah.
Which we have right here while we're at it.
We got a Google Chromebook that we're giving away. We're gonna pick the winners next week.
Next week,
Monday. So we have a flyer on our page that shows the instructions. You got to make sure you follow Motivation Mondays, Max the Speaker, MC Ebon on TikTok, Instagram. Follow our YouTube page. Follow us also on TikTok. I think I just mentioned that. And share the flyer for a bonus entry. So it's very simple. I know somebody can use this Google Chromebook. We are doing this giveaway for our 2-year anniversary. That was in April. So some lucky winner is going to win a brand new Google Chromebook. It's worth, $800 and something. This could be used to good work. So we encourage everyone to check out the giveaway, follow the instructions, and good luck to everybody who's participated. If you're just joining us for the first time, make sure you do follow Motivation Mondays as well too, so that you can see the other episodes we've had. We had lots of special guests that have come with some gems. I realize when people come on our page, and especially our YouTube page, and they see some of the guests we have, they're shocked. A lot of episodes, a lot of great topics, a lot of great people who are doing great things in the city.
Over 100 episodes.
Yeah. We've been doing this literally 2 years straight. So for the new people, tap into Motivation Mondays. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Chromecast, Amazon, and so many streaming platforms. And life is all about growth. I think once you're able to look back and see that you're not the person that you were even last year or 2 months, 3 months ago, it's a good thing. It can just show you that there's more for you, there's better for you that you can achieve.
No matter how small, there's improvement. That's a positive way to look at the future. And if you're getting better each day, you're heading towards the light. You're heading towards a better future, something meaningful. Keep going. Now, if you stand still or status quo, say, I'm not getting worse, I'm not getting better, by default, you're actually falling back. If you stand still, you fall back. If you don't get better, you default. Automatically become less than who you were yesterday.
And even if something was to happen and you were to fall, it doesn't matter if you fell 9 times. Get up on the 10th. You're not the only one that's fell.
No, there's this thing, if you fall, look up, because if you look up, you could get up.
Whew. True. Now, I want to just use this time to check in with everybody. I think sometimes in life we don't even get to ask ourselves how we really doing. Like, take time to think. How am I doing today? How have I been doing this month or for the week? Or how am I even taking in today being a holiday? Max, what things would you encourage for people who aren't working today, or maybe you got time and a half? If today is an unusual day, not a day that's like your usual typical work day, what advice would you give people to analyze their life or situation? What's the best thing to do today?
Reflect, treat yourself. If you're working so hard throughout the year, especially if you're in the GTA area dealing with what we went through on the weekend, just show gratitude, right? Gratitude, right? And be content with what you have. The best position to be in is to be happy with everything that you have and open your arms for more. So just be content with what you have, right? Everything that you have, everything that you want, just be grateful, right? Self-care, reflect, be grateful for everything that you have, and thank others and they're above, whoever it is that you believe in, for what is yet to come, because there's more for you. This is not it. Show gratitude, be thankful that you're still here, breathing, that your family is good. So many people deal with things, and as hard as life is for you right now, don't make it worse. By that I mean, I just want to explain that as hard as life is for you right now, don't make it worse by not adding on to it. right? So do what it is that you need to do. Don't add on to your problems, right? By picking a fight with your loved ones, by arguing with someone else, like, you know. So it's time to connect with your loved ones.
And I see we're getting new followers. Welcome. I love it because when people come in and they start hearing the conversation right away, it's like, oh, Lee, I need this. Where's this? So this is why we're making sure we combine our pages to remind you. I see a lot of people putting in their self-care. Gratitude is the key that unlocks abundance.
There it is.
I love that.
We all know nobody likes to give somebody who doesn't show gratitude, right? Nobody likes to give to somebody who doesn't show gratitude. So show gratitude to the universe. There's yet more for you. There's more out there for you.
And as we get older, and when I say that, because no matter what age you are, you're getting older. Mm-hmm. So whether you're 18, you're going to be turning 19. Whether you're 25, 26, 30, 31. So we're all getting older, no matter what. If you feel young or if you are young, I want to use this time to really let people know that no matter what you're going through in life, it's okay. You can overcome whatever situation that you're going through. It may not be easy. It may be a difficult situation, but you can overcome it.
I just want to touch on that because there's a smile on my face, because it's like, this was on Twitter when it was mentioned about whatever you're going through, you can overcome, and people wanted to pick at it and say, if you have a loved one that's dead, how are you going to come back? Like, you know, but it was just so much as if you're already going through it physically, mentally, don't live there. That's what it's about. Mentally, don't live there. That's what we mean by overcoming it, right? What's happening, you see, there's two things that I know. If you're constantly thinking about the past, it'll cause you to be depressed. And if you're constantly thinking about the future, it's causing you to have anxiety, right? Live in the moment. Enjoy the moment. The best time to live in is right now, right? The past is the past. The future, we can kind of control it because it's the steps that we're taking towards moving forward. But the past, I think, is the most difficult. And dwelling about the past, thinking about how things should have been, what you could have done, is the act of depression. So when we mean by you could overcome these things, we mean mentally, right? You've been through it, but don't live there, right? When you fall through that hole, don't stay there. Get up. Understand there's a hole there. And along the way, turn to those behind you, your younger siblings, the younger generations, the future that's to come, and tell them that, hey, I've been through this. Share the wisdom, right? This doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a motivational speaker and share, but if you could guide somebody along the way, leave the world a better place than you found it.
Literally. And it's a couple of my day ones tuning in. Shout out to you, Jimmy. I know you tuned in because I called him. He didn't answer my call, but we'll talk after. But as long as you tune in to Monday, we're good to go. And shout out to my friends that know how to, to make a situation right by supporting on a Monday.
We have a question here, but before, let's jump in our weekly Affirmation 11:11, and we're gonna get to that question by Malcolm Digital after.
Shout out to my guy Malcolm Digital. We work out and play basketball at the same gym. He's been killing it right now. Your transformation is inspiring, so keep it up, brother. But yes, at 11:11, the world wants to tell you to make a wish. We tell you to make an affirmation or say affirmation. So I'm gonna share our affirmation of today, and then I'll get my brother Max, the speaker, to break it down. I like the way the conversation is going today. You know, this wasn't really
wanted to do the holiday special.
You know,
people want to catch up.
So our affirmation today is, and this is an affirmation towards success, because I want us all to be successful. And as we have a break from the world, I want us to say these things out loud. So when I say it, repeat it to yourself wherever you are. Whether you're watching on YouTube, IG Live, listening to on streaming platforms. It goes like this. I am brimming with confidence. I am the architect of my life. I am a magnet for success. I am grateful for all of my successes. I am so lucky that the universe has my back. I am in love with who I am. So I'm going to repeat that again. I am brimming with confidence. I am the architect of my life. I am a magnet for success. I am grateful for all my successes. I am so lucky that the universe has my back, and I am in love with who I am.
I want to start off by loving yourself, who you are, no matter what it is. Like, love yourself. That's the first thing. You know, I tell people confident is not that if they'll like me, I'll be okay. It's even if they don't like me, I'll be okay, right? So self-love is the first thing. We talk about how you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So you got to love who it is that you are, and you're architect of your life. And with that, I just brought up, let's go to the question. I just want to twine that. And the question was...
And even, Max, before we do that, somebody may be people like, the universe has my back. I'm lucky. No, a storm just came and like destroyed me. We got to think outside of the box. The fact that you are alive is the biggest blessing.
That's a blessing. Like I said, if you have nothing to be grateful for, check your pulse. If it's still on, that's something to be grateful for. No matter what it is that you're going through, our hard life is, wake up, you hate everything around you, nothing is going to work, you're failing at school, your boss is picking up co-workers, dealing with siblings, all these kind of chaos going on in the world, right? Just take some time to check your pulse. That's the first thing to be grateful for. So show gratitude is what leads to abundance. And the reason why I want to twine that question from Malcolm Digital, it says, what are your thoughts on visualization to motivation self? Architect of your life, you got to see before it happens. Like, the vision, like when we talk about before a building comes into plan, before anything comes into plan, the vision came to somebody. It's a blueprint, right? So you got to see for yourself. You got to be motivated. Other people won't see for you. You tell me all these plans about what it is that you have for your future. No matter what I give you, I don't see it. You see it, right? You design your future. You're the architect of your own future, right? So visualization to self-motivation is key. Is key, because no matter what you tell anybody, no matter what anybody else tells you, it's how you envision yourself to be, right? You could share their ideas, you could create it in your head, and they could give you the nod, they could agree. It's your vision. It only came to you, right? And let that be meaningful towards you. So I hope that answers your question. And I think that's like self is the key to everything. And that's what this platform is about. Realizing it's you versus you.
And I love it. A lot of new faces coming on. Welcome to Motivation Mondays, where we educate people on self, purpose, passion, and finances. We do this each and every Monday. We know the world needs this. We need this. And we're glad that you guys can support it. So if you love what we're hearing, the conversation that we're talking about, make sure you follow Motivation Mondays Live. You'll see the name right at the top. And there's a question mark. Ask some questions. Just like at Malcolm Digital. You want to point something out?
Yes, I want to point something out because I know we live in a world day and age. We want to be interactive with our friends, and some people are on their phones. We're live on YouTube. You can have it bumping on YouTube while you're home on your laptop, on your smart TV, and get to what it is that you need to get to, right? Just that kind of like reminder.
And yes, I like that. You versus you. You're the only person that you need to be better than.
That's it. You're the only person you can compare yourself to, right? You don't know what anybody else to go to. Like, you want to be better than who you were yesterday, right? That's the only person you can compare yourself to.
And if you're joining us on YouTube, make sure you click that like button as soon as you get into the stream. We're at 247 subscribers. We're trying to get to 250. We're on the road to 1,000. So, we talked about the giveaway with the Google Chromebook. One of the rules is to make sure you're following us on YouTube. So I know we have 3 people that we can subscribe to right now. So I want to see you get to 250 as soon as possible. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, do so. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, do so that you can keep up to our posts and what we got going on. A lot of stuff in store as we're getting prepared to get out of spring into summer. We're going to be doing some live events that we'll need you guys to be attending. So if you follow the page, you'll be able to know what's happening, stay up to date, and all these great things. I want to talk about the fact that we're preparing basically for a new month. Today is, I believe, the 23rd.
The 23rd.
May 23rd. We got about 7-8 days left before the new month. We're getting ready to go into the 6th month of the year.
For the year, yeah.
Just like that, 6 months is almost passed us by. And that just shows you how quick things could just go.
Man, in the beginning to the summer is like a whole other season. You break it down into the 4 seasons of the year. And yeah, just once again, start out by being grateful even if things were hard, right? And prepare yourself for the summer. Prepare yourself for what's coming forward. It's a new chapter. Take from what you learned the first 6 months and make the next 6 months the best years of your life.
And you'll be surprised with hard work, staying focused, writing down your dreams and goals, and really working on a plan how far you can put yourself ahead of life if you stay consistent for the next 6 months.
Consistency is key. Even just committing yourself to something for 90 days, you see traumatic change in your life.
And even if you may feel like, I don't have a plan for the next 6 months, use these next 7-8 days before June 1st to write things down, to prepare.
Be the architect of your future, right? Those who fail to plan are planning to fail.
You may feel like, I didn't plan for the first 6 months, but you could definitely plan for the next 6. So use this time to, we always encourage people whenever you're listening to a podcast or reading a book, have a pen and paper or a notepad or your notes to jot things down. Don't leave everything to your memory.
Don't trust your memory. Don't use your head as a filing cabinet. There's so much going on. There's so much things that you may forget.
And I just seen that 248 subscribers. So 2 more subscribers and we're at 250. I want us to get to 250 by the end of the day. So I know I'm speaking to somebody, whether it's on the IG Live or who's in the YouTube right now that just came to check it out, that hasn't subscribed. Click that subscribe button. We are growing. We are improving. We're also going to be putting way much more content out to stay consistent on our behalf so that you have something to look forward almost each and every day. Because we understand in this life, it ain't easy.
No, not easy at all. And you don't want it easy. If you do what's easy, life will be hard. If you do what's hard, life will be easy.
100%. And, as the city of Toronto, last week it was breaking news. J. Cole is coming to play in the Canadian League. And it took the internet by storm. And I saw one of my buddies yesterday at the club, and he's in the same league. And he's like, yo, you know what's so crazy about this? I prepared my whole time for scouts and stuff to be, he thought he had to go to Europe. Mm-hmm. And one tragic move now has all this attention coming to the league that he's in. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you be wanting and wishing for more, but you have it right there.
Yep, there's doors that will open for you. There's doors that's open for you. If you just stay the grind, if you stay through the process, don't rush the process, trust the process, right? If you just stay down and be humble and keep grinding, keep doing what it is that you love, eventually opportunity will present itself, right? And be prepared for that opportunity.
They always say, stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
Exactly.
And I'm going to use this time for people. I want to interact with all the new people. Flaza Couture, our Motivation Mondays alumni. Her episode is actually doing so well. So let me actually find the numbers for that episode. Flaza Couture is Motivation Mondays family alumni. Had 249. There we go. One more. Let's get to 250 by the end of the day. Let me see if I can find that episode so I can let you guys know where that is. I told her I was one of the best ones that we're able to have. Let me see.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. So much gems, so much gems, so much things going on. There's a few things that we talked and touched about.
Yeah, that episode's at 2,000 views. Flaza Couture, she speaks about her journey as a fashion designer, working with Shen and all these dope things. So definitely make sure you go check out that episode. That's one of our top episodes. I think I'm going to refresh and we should be at 250 because you guys are also supporting and also blessed. One more to go. But I want to use this time to let people ask questions.
And yes, and to speak on that, like you just said, the platform is for everybody. If there's something that you feel like, if you have a message to share to the world, shoot us in the team an email. You want to be part of our the podcast and share some information that you feel is meaningful, right? There's somebody. If you have something to say. If you have something meaningful to say, eventually will fall on the right ear. So this podcast is welcome for each and every one of y'all to reach out to the team. And if you want to talk about your journey as a business, as an entrepreneur, as a real estate agent, and it doesn't even have to be that. Just sharing your own personal experience, going through hardship, going through dealing with mental health, and just coming out of, it's a platform for all of us. We're trying to motivate each and every one of us. And you're often looking for the answers, right? You're often looking for the answers for the things that you're going through, right? And I encourage people you want to be that person that your younger self wish they had, right? And so you could be that inspiring change to somebody. Right, so don't be afraid to share your information and your story.
So true. I see a question, but it wasn't finished. So I'll let you finish your question if you had a question. Right now, we're just talking about certain things to keep us motivated, how we should be getting prepared for the next 6 months, giving some advice, even if you didn't have a plan. Because we talked about it earlier, Max, you talked about if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we want to change that narrative and get ahead of the curve so that we can prepare for ourselves. A lot of the millionaires that you hear speaking, Elon Musk, they didn't just wake up and become these great people. They had to plan. They had to go through things in life. They took some losses. The other day, Jeff Bezos, he was talking about being featured on this magazine in 2005 or 2006 when they didn't think Amazon was a great idea. And now he looks back at the time, the people who were telling it, they looked at it as some big company that, I forgot what the actual name was. They like rank all these Fortune 500 companies or startup businesses. And now when you look at Amazon today, they're like, he's so happy he didn't listen to what they were saying. And he focused on what was at task to become who he was. Shout out to my Hong Shing family. We passed by there yesterday. They're able to take care of me and the family after I Love R&B. So shout out everyone who attend. Serrani Music came through as a special guest as well too. Melissa, what up, girl? Right now we're just on our platform, Motivation Mondays, educating people on self, purpose, passion, and finances. We're also live on YouTube. So if you are wanting to watch this conversation in the comfort of your home, feel free to do so on YouTube Live. We're having a giveaway right now where we're giving away a laptop, Google Chromebook. So feel free to do so. Max, as we get to 11:23, we got about 15 minutes left. I want to talk about the fact that sometimes we allow people's problems to get the best of us. So sometimes instead of even taking care of our own problems, we want to take the stress of others and we don't even realize. And you always talk about saying no to others is saying yes to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Why is it very important for us to put ourselves first so we don't let others' problems affect us or drain us?
Saying no to others is saying yes to yourself. I mean, you can't pour from an empty cup. We said that repetitively, but it's just one of those things. Is like, only in the position of power can you help people. Don't allow people to drain you. Right? Don't allow people to drain you. And often people want to burden other people with their problems. People want to share their hardship. And that's a quote that I'm going to use this morning. I don't know the exact of it. I'll formulate it after. But you got to understand that everybody's dealing with, I don't want to say bad energy. Everybody's dealing with difficult times. They wish to release that difficult times onto somebody, right? So if it's through being empathetic, being sympathetic, whatever it is, right? But that doesn't mean you should put yourself through these things so that you can no longer take care of yourself, right? Self-love first. Self-love first, right? Always put yourself first before you can be able to put yourself. Always put yourself in the position to be able to help other people. So always take care of yourself first, right? What's the rule in the airplane? Before you can help somebody else with their oxygen mask, make sure yours is on. Yeah. And that's the rule of life.
Literally. So we got to practice putting ourselves first. I see a lot of people agreeing with this. I ended today without us getting to 250 subscribers on YouTube. So somebody who's watching, joining us for the first time, go click Motivation Monday Live on Instagram. Click that follow button. Click the link in our bio, and it'll bring you straight to our YouTube page. Shout out to my guy, MC Innes. I was in Ottawa. We celebrated his birthday. Kudos to him. And shout out to my Ottawa family. A lot of great news and things coming up. Festivals. We announced Burn the Boy live in Toronto today. So stay tuned for all the details. Afrobeat is taking the world by storm. I love it. I love the way that we're going. I see we got 7 people watching on YouTube right now. So I know that's our 250th subscriber because the number just went up. And let's just subscribe to us already. But we're just here having a simple conversation on this Victoria Day long weekend Monday. A lot of people are at home, not at work, not doing the everyday or not on their everyday routine or schedule that they're used to. They probably had time to make breakfast. Some people, I know somebody told me yesterday, it's going to be the first time they get to watch the whole episode because they don't have work. Shout out to my trainer, the Jack creator in the building, Kweku the trainer. We're changing his name real quick. Real one. A lot of y'all are tuning in. I haven't seen in a minute, but welcome to Motivation Mondays. And Max, let's take it to the time. Well, not even take it to the time. Today, you had a little mishap with one of your houses where the fences were.
I gotta deal with that.
You gotta deal with that today. But when it happened, how did you react to it? And I want to ask that because I feel like we find humor sometimes in when things don't go our way or things unexpectedly happen.
Dealing with anything with my real estate property is kind of how I look at like a good problem. Because when I have that problem, it's kind of like a reminder of a pinch of myself that, yeah, you own a property. These are some of the things that come with it. hopefully I don't deal with more of those good problems and I having a good time. So to me, I have a different perspective on when things happen to me. I just stop, analyze it, and say, why is this happening to me? Right? Why is this happening to me? Right? So look at that and you say, why is this happening to me? And then you take it further and say, what is this teaching me? Right? Stop looking at all these problems as something that's out to take you out and you deserve it, but it's teaching you something. So ask yourself, why is this happening to me? And have a different perspective as what is this teaching me? Right? Turning your frustration to curiosity, right? And that's one of the things that I learned to deal with. So whenever my tenants call me and there's property issues, it's like I put a smile on my face and say, yeah, it's one of those problems that most people should look to have, because it's obvious what's happening in the real estate market. So if you happen to be in, and if these are the few minor setbacks that you might deal with for the long-term gain, then I'm all for it.
Somebody said good problems. These are good problems.
These are good problems that you like to have. Some problems are good. Some problems are good.
And like I said, we just hit that 250 subscriber mark. So kudos to y'all for making this happen. I spoke it into existence. It happened. I love the energy. Now it's rolled to 300. So we're going to keep going. We're not just stopping at 250. To the people rolling in right now from the IG that are probably like, what's going on? This is Motivation Mondays, episode 33, holiday special. We're just having a conversation about life. We talked about gratitude, humility, preparing for the unexpected, why motivation is important, wanting the best for ourselves. So many different points that we pointed out during this conversation that are great. I see a lot of new people coming in, so I want them to understand what we're doing right now. We have about
5 minutes. Folks, I just want to say this. So much thing that we talk about, life is complex. It's not a matter of black and white. It's not one side or the other, right? There's things that you may agree with, and I'm going to bring up politics. We're not going to debate conservatives, liberal, Trump supporter, Biden supporter, but life is more complex, right? You just got to find what works best for you. So when we say something, right, it's not cut, throw, dry, right? There's so many things that plays a role with your personality, right? So your personality might be affected by the situation that you're in. So life is way more complex than how we make it out to be. So when you hear people talking, if we hear something that works for somebody, doesn't mean it will work for you. Right? So just know yourself and know what it is that you're dealing with.
100%. And to the new people,
shout out Bugger J. Take 5 minutes, 5 steps back, and reevaluate.
100%.
Motivation family has been so long. It's good to see some of the day one people, because I know they're dealing with the being back in the workplace, and today's a holiday. And Jay, I'm gonna need you later on today. We'll talk.
And kudos to everybody who's just tapping into the life for the first time, seeing what Motivation Monday is about. We do this each and every week. We feel like it's very important. There's 7 days in a week. So one day when we can have conversations that are not normal, that we believe are conversations that we need to be having more often, we encourage you guys to take in the information, take in the great quotes that we be speaking about, the great books that we be referencing. And we're trying to open up the mindset to see life in a different view, other than what the world is accustomed to: negativity, bad news, trauma, all these other things that are unnecessary that don't help us grow. Unless you are looking at your own and you can overcome those to become your better self.
Overcome it mentally, right? We don't mean it physically. You go through hardship, go through it, right? Make something pull you through it, have something meaningful. Carry on a heavy burden, right? You want to go up that hill carrying something. You don't want to walk through life, have no sense of meaning. When something gets you out of bed, that's what life is all about, right? Don't just walk through life casual, right? If you do what's easy, life will be hard. If you do what's hard, life will be easy. And if you go through casual, you end up a casualty. Those are some harsh words for a motivational speaker to say to people. But folks, unconventional, hit where it hurts. You know what I mean? It's a shock to the temple. We're attacking on Mondays because Mondays has been studied to be one of the worst days of the week. So we just encourage you guys to get up and do something meaningful. Don't run away from what it is that you know you need to do. It's going to get harder. That pile of homework that you're looking at, don't use Motivation Monday as an excuse why you didn't get up. Get off Motivation Monday right now. Go start on that essay. Go start on that business plan, right? This is always there. Watch Motivation Monday on your free time. Do what you need to do. Do something meaningful. Do what's hard. so your life can be easy. There's no escaping it. It gets harder. It gets harder. You have to write a 10-page essay by Friday. If you don't do it now, you have to write a 10-page essay within 24 hours on Thursday. It gets harder. The monster doesn't get smaller when you ignore it. It gets bigger. Face what you fear most and become stronger. And if you can't defeat it, assist yourself, equip yourself with the tools and things needed. Do what it is that you know you need to do.
And when you say that, first thing that came to my mind, okay, I got a question.
I like that question.
How can I tell if my confidence isn't mistaken as arrogance?
Are you talking about the perspective of how other people will view you? Because that's not something that we should really look into, right? But if your confidence is so high that's bothering people, right? And if your confidence is backed up with deliberate action, right? So it's like being confident and saying that I'll do what it is I need to do, and even if I can't do it, I'll source what it is. But if people are looking at you and they think that you're arrogant, your words and your demeanor is not backed by action, right? So if you're saying things to yourself, if you're doing things that you know that you can do, it's not arrogant. You know what I mean? It's just truth to say, it's dumb, right? It's dumb because then you're dealing with people with low self-esteem who wish to admire to be like you, right? That can't handle the bright light, so they want to dim down your light, right? But if you're saying things to yourself and you believe the things that you're doing and you're taking the necessary steps and you're accomplishing and doing all the things that you need to do, it's high self-esteem. It's like the antidote to a lot of things. There's so many things that people will go through, right? When you believe that you get on the other side, no matter how hard it is, but people tell you to dim down your light because they can't get through the other side. Misery loves company, right? So when we're dealing with the perspective from other people, never let that be the reason why you dim your lights, because it's too bright for other people. Get it wrong. And here's the thing though. Here's what I gotta say. If you're the brightest light in the room, you need to go in a different room, right? If you're the brightest light in the room, you need to go in a different room. So from that perspective, can also be, like I said earlier, nothing is cut and dry. It's very complex, right? If people are trying to dim your light, right, you need to go in a different room where everybody's light shine. And if you're the type of person that just want your light to outshine everybody because you feel like you're better than everybody in the room, you need to go in a different room. Don't be afraid to be less than anybody, right? Because no matter who you are, no matter what it is that you're doing, there's somebody out there in that domain that's better than you, right? And human being likes to protect their self-image by being around you doing better than, because that's part of self. The part of self is what I think I'm good at. I like to believe I'm good at. So when I meet somebody that's better than me, it's that am I who I say I am, right? And that's what true confidence is, right? Who's the number one motivational speaker right now? We could debate Eric Thomas, Gary Vee. Would I still be Max the speaker amongst those men? Yes, right? That's confidence. But running away from them to be around those people who are trying to come up or people who don't have it figured out, for me to say I'm the best motivational speaker, that's me being in a room with dim lights, turning on my brightness to make me myself feel good. That's the arrogant part. So don't confuse arrogant with confidence. Like I just said, it's much more complex, and I hope what I just explained, you guys understood it. I hope that answers your question. And
yeah, he put thumbs up and thanks.
Yes, sir. I know I kind of went on, but that's what it's really about. Don't be afraid to be, not to be the brightest light in the room.
We got a question right now. Shanice, how are you? I just came in, but have you guys talked about doubting yourself?
Self-doubt is self-crippling, right? It's that chain, right? It's that thing. It's the attack where what is it? Is it your experience that you've been through that's making you down yourself? We haven't talked about that. That's a great topic I probably want to get deep into, but we talked about, and if you're dealing with anxiety, you're thinking too much about the future, how the future look. If you're dealing with depression, you're thinking too much about the past, and that's more related to doubting yourself because you're basing off your experience. And is it your own personal experience, or is it what other people have gone through? Has other people put shackles on your feet? Have people convinced you that the shackles on your feet needs to be on your feet, or is this something that you have psyched yourself into believing, right? Go through it. It's called learning. It's what life is all about, right? It's what it's all about.
And, it's okay to kind of critique yourself because if you want to become better, you got to know where your flaws are. You got to know your pros and cons. But don't overdo it. Mm-hmm. Like you can't be wasting so much energy in looking at the things that are wrong.
Yep, and that's to go back when we're talking about confidence, like the opposite. It's like, I know I can't do it, so I wouldn't bother. I'll just stay where it is that I need to be. It's that don't put those shackles on your feet. Go out, communicate with people. if you're doubting yourself and you feel like you don't deserve to be in a room, often the people that make you feel bad about yourself are not the people that you should be around, right? Self-doubt's kind of like, is the low self-esteem comes reflecting off the confident aspect of things. It's like the opposite side of the spectrum, but don't be afraid to admit to your faults. We all have flaws. I don't care who you are, we all have flaws. We all have flaws, right? We all have flaws. And she said I deal with both anxiety and depression. Next week we talk about self-doubt because I know that's really major, dealing with anxiety and depression. So next week I want to talk about it. Let's note that. I know this episode's about to get wrapped up. Watch it. There's been a couple of episodes where we actually talk about mental health, how to deal with it clinically. If it's like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But just kind of like coping mechanism to go through your everyday life. But really want to thank you guys for today, for tuning in.
And a lot of great conversations have happened from the male aspect to the female perspective. So we encourage everybody to go on the YouTube page, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you're following Motivation Mondays live on Instagram so you can see what we post in our stories, what we post on our page, the special guests who we've had. And
I just want to say to Shanice, I know this is like off topic, but hit up either me personally or through Motivation Monday and we could have a chat, just simply because this is not like, if you're dealing with something and you feel like it needs dire, I shouldn't be telling you wait until next week to deal with it. Just hit me up, we could talk about it, we could have a conversation. But just in the general topic, that'll be something I'd like to touch upon next week.
And that wraps up episode 33. Don't forget, we're having a giveaway. We're giving away a Google Chrome laptop. Shanice, maybe you can use this right here. Maybe, who else we got in here? King Cody, Mr. Activated, Mr. Will. Somebody can use this computer right here to make them feel a little bit better. Follow the instruction posted on Motivation Mondays Live. We have a flyer for our Google Chrome book giveaway for our 2-year anniversary. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got to 250 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,750 more to go. But once you can get to the first 250, you can get another 250. That's 500.
Stay the grind. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Thank you, each and every one of you guys around the world. I know people are tuning in from Ghana. Shout out to our supporters from India. We have a huge follower from there. We're gonna give that thanks. But thank you guys once again. We'll see you guys next week, Mondays. Your boy Max, the speaker.
It's your boy MC Ebone.